Hello everyone. Today we will discuss polymerase chain reaction. So what is polymerase chain reaction? The polymerase chain reaction or PCR is one of the main pillars of molecular biology. PCR is rapid and versatile in vitro method for amplification defined target DNA sequence present within the source of DNA. This technique was formulated in 1985 by Kary-Mullis. Kary-Mullis, the inventor of PCR, was awarded the 1993 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. One of the reasons for the wide adaptation of PCR is the elegant simplicity of the reaction and relative ease of the practical manipulation steps. Indeed, combined with bioinformatics, it provides a rapid means for DNA identification and analysis. It has opened up the investigation of cellular and molecular process to those outside the field of molecular biology. What is the principle of PCR? PCR can be used to make many copies of DNA that is supplied as a template. Using PCR, this is the picture of a PCR machine. Using PCR, copies of DNA sequence are exponentially amplified to generate thousands to millions of more copies of that particular DNA segment. The PCR involves the primer mediated enzymatic amplification of DNA. In PCR, the target DNA is copied by a thermostable DNA polymerase enzyme in the presence of nucleotides and primers. Through multiple cycles of heating and cooling in a thermocycler to produce rounds of target DNA denaturation, primer hybridization, and primer extension, the target DNA is amplified exponentially. Amplified fragments of DNA can be sequenced, cloned, probed, or sized using electrophoresis. Defective genes can be amplified to diagnose any number of illness. So, how PCR works? This is a diagrammatic representation. What is how PCR works? PCR is an artificial way of doing DNA replication. Instead of replicating all the DNA present, only a small segment is replicated. But this small segment is replicated many times. The machine cycles through temperatures that heat and cool the mixture to trigger specific chemical reaction that create new identical copies of the target selection of DNA. The cycle is repeated over and over to continue copying of the target DNA sections. Each cycle doubles the presence previous number. 2 copies become 4, 4 copies become 8, 8 copies become 16, and so on. After about an hour, billions of copies are made. If a virus or pathogen is present, in case of, suppose we are detecting amplifying a virus or a pathogen. So if a virus or pathogen is present, it will be indicated on the machine. Certain viruses, including hepatitis C virus, are made up of RNA rather than DNA. For these viruses, the RNA must be changed into DNA before copying. This process is called reverse transcription PCR. PCR or reverse transcription PCR check for the presence of a pathogen. Another type of PCR known as quantitative PCR or qPCR measures the amount of pathogen in the sample. qPCR can be done at the sample time as PCR or RT-PCR. So what are the components of PCR? The PCR reaction requires the following components. So what are the components? DNA template. We need a DNA template, a double-stranded DNA or gene of interest. Second is DNA polymerase, usually thermostable Taq polymerase that does not rapidly denature at high temperature. This is why we choose DNA polymerase. We will discuss it later in the next coming slide. And can function at a temperature optimum of about 70 degrees centigrade. Third is oligonucleotide primers. Short pieces of single-stranded DNA, often 20 to 30 base pair, which are complementary to the 3' end of the sense and antisense strand of the target sequence. In case of a known sequence, we before we starting this PCR reaction, we already designed the primers in case we have a known sequence. So next is deoxynucleotide triphosphates, DNTPs. DNTPs are single unit of bases A, T, G, and C, provide the energy for polymerization and the building blocks of DNA synthesis. And buffers. Usually buffer includes magnesium and potassium to provide the optimal condition for DNA denaturation and renaturation, and also important for polymerase activity, stability, and fidelity. For example, sometimes we use MgCl2 with buffers. So MgCl2 acts as a cofactor and is a catalyzer in PCR. That means higher concentration of MgCl2 increases higher productivity of Taq polymerase. This is the important statement. But specificity will be less with high productivity and cause ugly smear bands. If you are using too much of MgCl2, it of course increase the productivity of Taq polymerase, but it will specificity will be less. You will find ugly and smear bands. So Taq polymerase. Like DNA replication in an organism, PCR requires a DNA polymerase enzyme that makes new strand of DNA using existing strands as a template. The DNA polymerase typically used in PCR is called Taq polymerase, after the heat-tolerant bacterium from which it was isolated, Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus lives in hot spring and hydrothermal vents. Its DNA polymerase is very heat stable and is most active around a temperature which a human or E. coli DNA polymerase would not be functional. This heat stability makes Taq polymerase ideal for PCR reactions. There are other thermostable DNA polymerase currently used in PCRs are PFU, Pyrococcus furiosus, BSTE, Bacillus stereothermophilus, and TTH, Thermus thermophilus. Stages in the PCR. So what are the steps or stages in PCR? The PCR is a chain reaction because newly synthesized DNA strand will act as a template for further DNA synthesis in subsequent cycles. It consists of a series of cycles of 3 successive reactions. Number one, denaturation, annealing, and extension. In denaturation, typically at about 93 to 95 degrees centigrade for human genomic DNA. In this first step, the double-stranded DNA is denatured by heating the reaction to above 90 degrees centigrade within the complex DNA region to be specifically amplified. It made accessible. In the first step, the template stand is denatured. As you can see, after the heating above 90 degrees centigrade, the both the stand get separated. In the second step, annealing. Primer annealing at temperature usually from about 50 to 70 degrees centigrade depending upon the TM of the expected duplex. Annealing temperature must be low enough to enable hybridization between the primer and template, but high enough to prevent mismatch hybrids from forming. This template can be calculated. This melting temperature can be calculated by determining the melting temperature or TM of the primer template hybrid. The TM can be determined experimentally or calculated from this simple formula. This is the formula. If you have a known sequence, then you can put the value of number of G, C, A, and T. After the how many G's are present in that sequence, how many cytosine are present in the sequence, how many adenine and guanines, count and put the values of guanine, cytosine, and adenine and thymine in this formula. After the calculation, you will find the melting temperature, which is denoted as TM. And last step is extension. So after the priming reaction, DNA extend or DNA synthesize typically at about 70 to 75 degrees centigrade. So this is the one cycle, and after the repetition, you will get up to 1,000 to millions of copies of a DNA. So theoretically, yield of PCR. So if you want to calculate the number of copies after the 30 to or 40 cycles, how many copies you will generate, through this formula you can calculate the number of copies of DNA. In this, Y is the starting number of copies and N is the number of thermal cycle. It means how many cycles are you are taking in a PCR machine. If you start with 100 copies, how many copies are made in 30 cycles? This is the formula 2 की power n into y. This is not x, this is into. So 2 की power n is number of cycles, which is 30 into 100. We have 100 copy numbers. Then you will get 107,374,182,400. So this is how we can calculate the number of copies. List of type of PCR. There are more than 35 types of PCR listed here, but I'm sure there may be more types of PCR. There are several types of PCR which are used everywhere in research and diagnostic, like colony PCR, hot start PCR, gradient PCR, real-time PCR, reverse transcriptase PCR, real-time PCR, and many more. I highlighted some of the important PCR which daily use in research labs. Let's take example of colony PCR. Colony PCR is a method in which where identification of gene of interest inserted into the plasmid is obtained by designing the insert DNA specific primers. The bacterial colony containing the plasmid can directly be amplified using two sets of primers. The main amplification of colony PCR is in the identification of correct ligation and insertion of the inserted DNA into bacteria as well as yeast plasmid. After the insertion, they pick up the colony and use as a template. Instead of DNA template, we take the inserted plasmid as a DNA template in our PCR reaction. So after PCR, confirmation by gel electrophoresis or agarose gel electrophoresis. PCR product can be confirmed by agarose gel electrophoresis whether the amplification is done or not. As you can see here in this picture, these are the PCR product run in a gel, and this is the marker. Through this marker, we can identify the length of our PCR product, and this confirm the amplification. These bands confirm the amplification of the PCR of the DNA template. So first you need to cast the gel, put the gel in electrophoretic chamber filled with 1x TAE buffer. Mix DNA sample with tracking dye. Generally, we use bromophenol blue and load to the well by pipetting gently. Connect the chamber to power supply and set the voltage at 90 volt for an hour. After an hour, remove the gel and examine the gel under UV trans illuminator and take the picture for a record. Thank you very much. I tried to simplify the video. I hope you like it. In the next video, we will discuss a really important type of PCR, real-time PCR.